Okay guys, we have a serious problem. Hey guys, what's up? It's Belle. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, and if you've come back, thank you so much. Today, you guys, it's the start of a new reading vlog because, guys, I am in a crisis, okay? I'm in a crisis. Now, you may think that I'm being dramatic, okay? But we're in a serious reading slump. Like, I'm not kidding, okay, guys? So listen up to me. The last book that I finished, okay, was Keeping 13, okay? And since finishing that book, I have not been able to finish one book, okay? Now, I finished Keeping 13 on the 18th of February, okay? It's currently the 2nd of March, which means it's almost been 2 weeks since I have finished a book, and I fear we are in a deep reading slump. It's getting bad. It is bad, okay? Now, here's the problem. I'm currently in the middle of 2 books that I really want to love and enjoy. However, I worry that I'm not going to because I'm in like a slump, okay? And like, that's dangerous. That's how I knew I needed some assistance. So basically, you guys, this reading vlog is going to be me reading until I get myself out of a reading slump. Now, my initial idea to start this video off was that I was going to start a thriller. Now, if you guys haven't heard me talk about reading slumps before, I have 2 little tricks that I usually use to get my momentum back. The first one is to go back and reread a book that I love and like I know is 5 stars and I'll never get sick of. That will like reignite my passion again. Or my second tip is that I like to completely change genres. I usually reach for a thriller when I'm in a slump, or I go for like a romantasy, but I fear we're in deep and I thought I was gonna have to go and grab a cheeky thriller off the shelf. However, yesterday I started reading, or I picked up Saving 6 again. I really do want to keep going with this book because I just want to know what's going on with Joey and Aoife, and I love them. So I think like from the 70 pages I think I read yesterday, it got me excited to, I guess, get back into the world. So I think what I'm gonna try to do now is I'm going to start reading Saving 6 on my Kindle, depending on how we go. If I feel like I'm still pulling teeth. As I was saying, guys, a bit earlier there, I really want to love this book because I love Joey and Aoife so much. I just worry that the slump is gonna ruin it for me. So I'm gonna read for maybe an hour or so now, and I'll update you guys afterwards. If I'm still feeling like I'm not in it, I am gonna go and pick a thriller up. But yeah, you guys know the drill. Let's get comfy, let's get cozy, and let's get right on into this reading vlog. Hello everybody. It is now 6:10 and I'm about 60% through Saving 6. I will say that I just probably read for almost 2 hours just then, which was really good. It's probably the most the longest reading time that I've done in, like I said, the 2 weeks, because I said to myself I was gonna read for an hour, but I actually found myself falling back into, I guess, really enjoying this book. I think just coming back into the world and remembering my love for Joey and Aoife and Shannon and all the kids really helped, I guess. So I think this was a good book for me to pick up to try and get back into it, because it's not like I was trying to start a new book where I had to form an attachment to the characters, get an understanding of the world and the setting. I sort of knew, it was familiar to me, which is really good, and I am enjoying it. I'm gonna just pause and have some dinner now. Do I want to sit and completely read this in one sitting? Yes and no, and that's how I feel like I know I'm still in the slump, which is really hard. But anyway, I'm gonna go downstairs, I'm gonna have some soup, and then if I do any more reading tonight, I will let you guys know. I need to do my washing, guys. It's bad. It's bad. Good morning, everybody. Guys, it's a good morning, okay? It's a very good morning, okay? Happy Monday. I got a reading update, which is very exciting. So last night I fell asleep with my Kindle in my hand, okay? Which is a good thing and a bad thing, which means I was very enthralled reading. I normally don't stay up that late reading. I was very enthralled with my book, but that also means that you guys know when you fall asleep reading, your brain doesn't really retain what you've read. So this morning when I went to move my bookmark in my physical book, from my Kindle, if that makes sense, to match them up and line them up, I was looking and I was like, I don't remember reading this. So I think I'm gonna have to spend a little bit of time this morning just looking at the last couple of pages of the chapter I finished before I fell asleep. But we are like a good 70% through. We're on page 440 and I am loving this. I'm having a good time. I have a little bit of work to do in about 40 minutes. So what I might do now is just sit down, read, and then I'll be back. But I'm loving it. If you guys like are familiar, obviously this is part of Boys of Toman, but it is Joey and Aoife's little duet. And at first I wasn't really sure if this was giving me what I thought I wanted it to give me. But I think we're now slowly starting to get a few pieces and like get to the good stuff. Everybody has told me that Redeeming 6 is the best book, so I feel like it's all gonna come to a head in that one, but we'll see how I'm feeling after I finish this. I would like to finish this today because it is really like doom and gloom. It's raining outside. We'll have to see how we go. I would like to read a different book after I finish this because I worry that if I just binge the whole Boys of Toman at once, I'm gonna be in an even deeper like reading slump. So I hopefully will finish this today and see if I still like reading afterwards. Guys, where's the book? Okay, I just finished Saving Six. Please excuse my hair. It was up in a bun and now it looks like this. So yeah, oh guys, I don't know if this is such an unpopular opinion. There are no spoilers at all, but like, did we need this book? Like, I'm being so serious. I feel like I have taken a back turn, guys. Oh my god. Please tell me if this is an unpopular opinion. I did not think this was anything to write home about. Like, oh, I really had high hopes for this. I was so excited for this book because I was like, yay, Joey, absolutely loved him. And this is the thing, okay? Again, no spoilers, but here's my thing about Saving Six, okay? In Binding and Keeping 13, we know who Joey and Aoife are. We get the backstory. We know enough about Joey as, you know, Shannon's brother to know what he's going through, what he is doing, what he's up to, what the relationship is with Aoife. And there is like something lurking in the background of their little side plot in those two books that I was like, this needs to be explored in Saving and Redeeming Six, okay? But this whole book was an entire book about how Joey and Aoife like met. And basically this whole book is like bringing us to where we are at the start of Binding 13. And I'm like, oh, I know, I got all of this. No offense, I got all of this from Binding and Keeping 13. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know who Joey and Aoife are. I know that Aoife is this like fiery, passionate, you know, ballsy girl. And I know that Joey is this wounded soldier who literally is like, you know, in charge of his family. It's not a burden that he wanted, but we know that he has to take care of his family, even though he's still sort of a kid himself. I know he's 18, but like, I got it. I got the relationship dynamic all from the first two books. And I feel like this was so unnecessary. It really annoys me. It really annoys me when this happens. Like, I feel like this happened in another book that I read called A Love Letter to Whiskey, okay? I read like the special anniversary edition of that, and basically, right, it was like a whole 200 pages longer. And do you guys know what the 200 pages were? It was a full recount, I kid you not, scene for scene, word for word, of the entire normal book in the male main character's perspective. And I could have lost my mind over that because it was like so unnecessary. And that's what I feel like this was. I know who Joey and Aoife are. I didn't need 600 pages about who they are. I know who they are. Continue the story. Continue the story. Like, I feel like, no offense, I could have like finished Keeping 13 and then I could have started Redeeming 6 and not even read Saving 6. That's how I feel, because guys, I don't know if it's the reading slump or what it is. Like, there were some really sweet moments in this, but guys, this is like a 3-star book. I'm so annoyed that a filler book was this big. Oh my God, I'm so angry. Guys, so now I just don't know what to do. I've got Redeeming 6 sitting next to me, the whole Bible stack, because guys, this is like made on different paper. It's thick. It's thick, kick. So I'm like, do I start this or do I start something on my Kindle? Maybe I need to calm down because, yeah, when this vlog resumes, you will know. Good morning, besties. It is the very next day and I've had a night to think. I've had an afternoon to chat with some of my besties who love this series so much and have just sort of, you know, processed and thought through all of my feelings and thoughts about Saving Six. And I think maybe I was a little bit too harsh. I'm still like very firmly of the belief that it was a filler book to me, and what I think I've come to terms with is I love Joey and Aoife so much that I felt like I was robbed of one whole book of like development. Like, I get it's a book of backstory, but I was like, if they're only getting 2 books, like that was such a waste of a book and I want more. Like, you know what I mean? That being said, I'm about to start redeeming 6. Because, like I said, I spoke to one of my besties, Charlie, yesterday, and she was basically telling me that this is going to destroy me, like ruin my life. So I've already downloaded it onto my Kindle. I'm going to read for about an hour, and then I have to get into some admin work and some stuff like that. So we're going to get going, and let's just see how much of this I'm gonna get through. Also, like, just an update on the slump. I think the slump is still slumping. Also, today, guys, totally forgot that Wildside comes out today by Elsie Silver, so you best believe I will be going down. I'm gonna go and get it at about 4 o'clock because my local bookstore, for some reason, they don't get their books in till about, you know, midday, 2, 3 o'clock, like later in the afternoon. So I'm gonna go down at around 4:30 to get that book, and then hopefully that'll give me a bit of time to read this today. If I'm not feeling this today, at least I know Elsie's got my back, and Elsie always brings me out of a reading slump. Anyways, that being said, redeeming, let's go. Hello everybody. It's obviously much later in the day. It's like, I don't even know what time it is. 9:28, so 9:30. And I'm just about to go to bed, but I thought I would give you guys a little update on my reading slump / redeeming 6 because I am now 352 pages into this. I did not realize how big this book is going to be. Like, it's quite literally almost 1,000 pages, I want to say. Now, I swear to God, I better not say a spoiler. Yeah, it's like 930 pages or something. So it's a big book. I'm reading it on my Kindle, but I'd say like I'm going to read some more now because I am intrigued. But I mean, 350 pages in a day is pretty good. That's like a standard for me. That's like a normal book, right? That's a normal romance book. So I am definitely enjoying redeeming 6 a lot more than saving 6. I think this has the same feeling as binding 13. I'm laughing a lot more. I'm getting a lot more of like the dynamics and the friendships and the relationships that I am itching to see, I think. I don't know if it's that I'm like not particularly sold on Joey and Aoife, or I don't know what it is exactly. It's hard because I like love them and I love their relationship, but I don't know what it is. I get like the things that I'm like tearing up at reading this is like just to do with like Joey personally. So maybe I'm just more, at the moment, it's just getting on my nerves. That's why I need to read a little bit more because the Aoife is my main character is frustrating me at the moment, and I just need some answers. So I'm going to read for a little bit longer tonight, and then I'll pick up back with you guys tomorrow. So we're like slowly kicking the slump, but I don't think we're fully out of it yet. Hello everybody, it is the next day for starters, but it's about 3:45 in the afternoon. I had a lot to do today. I don't know, the days have just been getting away from me this week. It's just been very bizarre, but as you guys just would have seen, I got a new reading chair for my room. I didn't have one before, and I was sort of maybe saying this yesterday in the vlog. I'm just sick of reading on my bed. Like, I love my bed, but I don't want to be sitting there all the time to read. Like, it messes it up, and then I just feel like I'm lying in bed all day and it's not cute. So I got this cute little fluffy beanbag chair and I'm loving it. So I finally sat down to do some reading. I am now 50% through redeeming 6, and I am like, what I feel good about is that I actually am going like, oh, I actually want to read more. Oh yeah, I actually want to go back. Because the issue that I've been having over the past couple of days is that I'm like, I literally don't want to look at a book, don't want to talk about a book, whatever. But I am going, oh, actually, I'm kind of itching to know what happens next. So that's exciting. As I was sort of saying yesterday, I don't think I've fully kicked the slump yet, but I think, yeah, I think I said last night I'm enjoying this a lot more than saving 6, but I've also just got a box of tissues next to me because I've just heard it's going to make me absolutely bawl my eyes out. So stay tuned. I think we're in for some heavy stuff. Like, whoever recommends these books, I just want to know why you guys don't tell me that it's literally going to ruin my life. Truly, like, after all of the story and pain and friendships and love and devastation that I experienced reading these books, how am I supposed to read anything else? How am I supposed to like let these people go? Sorry to get so D&M on it Wednesday afternoon. Oh, that went up my nose. But like, how am I supposed to go and read other things and just like continue on in the world without these characters? Hey guys, so whoever's idea it was to like recommend these books to me, I hope you count your days because I literally can't do this anymore every single time. I was like, really, guys, I'm going through it, okay? I was really annoyed at this and I was like, I am just like not getting it. I don't understand, okay? But like all the pieces are falling into place and I'm a clown. I get it, okay? I get it and now I'm crying about it so hard. I have stuff I gotta do tonight. I gotta watch maths, but am I gonna watch maths? No, because I would. Oh my god. Chloe Walsh, where can I send you an invoice for my therapy? Because that's actually what is going to happen. In other great news, a wonderful review for the Kmart beanbag chair because it's comfy as, and I've been reading a lot longer than I usually do. So I'm going to count that as a win for the reading slump. Just pray for me, guys. Look at this. Pray for me. Alrighty, everybody. It is 10:20 p.m. This beanbag rustling's gonna annoy me, I'm telling you now. It's 10:20 at night and I have finally finished Redeeming 6. I am gonna definitely like process my thoughts on this. I cried a lot reading this book, you guys. I don't know if it's like the reading slump or what it is. I just didn't think this book hit the way that I was expecting it to. It did hit in certain points. Like I said, I was very emotional. I think that I really invested and so invested in the characters at this point that I would just read anything even if it like didn't really satisfy me, which is, I don't know how good that is. I just love the characters so much that obviously I just wanted to keep going and know what was going to happen. So in terms of like the bingeability of this book, I was there. You guys saw, like, I read this 900-page book in 2 days, which for someone who says they're in a reading slump, that's pretty good. However, when I say the enjoyability, I don't know if it's coming down to the fact that the book was average for me or if because I feel like I'm in a slump, I just wasn't invested in the story. I don't know what it was. I think, like, when I read Binding 13, I was just so impressed by that because I had no idea what I was expecting from it. And I loved Keeping 13 as well. These two books just felt very different to me and I was expecting maybe a little bit more from the books than what I got. I was just about to say something that was a huge spoiler, but we are spoiler free. So I guess I'm still trying to like wrap my head around if the duet that I read is like what I sort of thought it was going to be. I still think it was really heartbreaking and devastating, and I think Joey Lynch is like one of my new favorite characters. My heart just breaks for him in so many ways. It was just so nice to see his story with Aoife and I guess get to see where they end up. So I'm gonna sit on my rating for this. I'll probably tell you guys my rating for it at the end of the video. Like I said, I think the part of the slump that is like being kicked is I guess like the motivation to read, but you guys know when you're in a book slump, you might want to read, but you're just not enjoying the books. Like, I just feel like maybe I don't know, maybe I need to read something that I just know I'm gonna love. And I don't know, I'm in a weird spot. So that being said, I'm gonna pause Boys of Tomon for now because I finally got, because my bookstore and everywhere apparently was not getting these books in on release day apparently. Wildside by Elsie Silver. You guys know I love Elsie so much, and Wild Eyes, my god, one of my favorite books that I read last year. Anything by Elsie just always hits, and I feel like this has come at a perfect time because I know that I love her books. Like, none of her books have ever disappointed me. They always bring me out of a slump and I always read them super fast. Now, because it is like 10:30 at night, I'm not going to start this today, but I will start it tomorrow morning. If you guys are unfamiliar, this is part of Elsie's Rose Hill series. It is a small town cowboy-esque romance series where we are following single dads and single parents. So I'm very excited for this one. I've said a few times that this is a marriage of convenience and enemies to lovers, and I think like that's such an interesting combo that I usually don't see in a romance or a contemporary romance. Usually that could be like fantasy, but I'm very excited. And of course you're throwing that single parent element in there. So I'm gonna get a bit of rest now, and then I'm thinking we're gonna spend all day tomorrow on this bad boy. Good morning, guys. Happy, is it Thursday? I don't even know what day it is. Yep, Thursday, 6th of March. We were fully prepping for a cyclone today, but there are blue skies? Girl, there are blue skies outside. Okay, I'll show you guys in a minute, but I thought it was gonna be cute, cozy reading weather today. Nonetheless, we are starting Wildside this morning. Guys, I have to show you something because this is driving me nuts. Can you see how this is shiny? Look at Wild Eyes. Matte. Wild Love. Matte. Why do publishers keep doing this. I don't understand. I feel like it would be more expensive to make it shiny. Maybe I'm wrong. Someone who works in publishing, please let me know, because why are we doing the shiny covers when the rest of the series is matte? Anyways, whatever. I'm going to sit down and read this. I'm hoping this is going to be the final book of the video. Hopefully this will kick my slump. As I was saying last night, Elsie normally always does with her books. So let's sit down. I've got a cup of tea and let's just read this bad boy until I'm out of the slump. Y'all, it's time for an update, okay? I look gross. I haven't left this little spot all morning, but I am 126 pages into this. I've literally only been reading it for what, like maybe 2 hours, because I've had to do stuff in between, like on and off. But I just know I'm going to finish this probably at around 1 o'clock or something like that. Like, it is just so easy. Elsie immediately, I made a note in this. I was like, oh yep, I'm in. I'm like 100 pages in. I'm like, I'm so in. This man, everything, the banter, the tension, the beautiful relationship that he already has with her like nephew. So basically the premise of this one is that Tabitha's sister Erica like passes very suddenly, and in the will she's left Reese, who was like her landlord, as Milo, her son's legal guardian. And her sister Tabitha is like, why has she left this stranger as the legal guardian to my nephew, my sister's son? So they're both trying to work out now like how to sort of work together, because he lives in Florida and she obviously lives in Rose Hill, so he's not an American citizen and it's hard for him to always be in the country. As I was saying, you guys know this is a marriage of convenience, so I just think I know where this is going to go in terms of him being able to stay in Canada for a little bit longer. I'm just loving it, and we're already getting like some spicy carry on. I'm happy. Elsie always pulls me out of a slump. Besties, it is 20 to 1. I am flying through this. Literally, I'm on page 300 already. So I've got 100 and, what is this? 150 pages, 40 pages left. So I'm going to smash it out. Guys, I don't know what's going on. I think it's the third book syndrome. I'm liking it. Maybe I've just got to stop comparing it to Wild Eyes. Wild Eyes was so good. I don't know. I think I had such high hopes for this book because it is marriage of convenience. It's single parent. It is like hate to love, but there is so much to love about it. Like, it's classic Elsie where I'm flying through it, but I think I've got to stop comparing. It reminds me more of Wild Love. I liked Wild Love, but there was nothing like gripping me in Wild Love. What I loved about Wild Eyes was not only was I invested in Skylar and West, but I also loved the kids and the relationship that Skylar had with the kids. Like, I just felt like it was really strong on all accounts, and then like the music plot line and everything was just super strong. This at the moment just feels kind of rushed. Maybe it's because I'm just sitting here and literally reading it in a day, but when I saw the size of this, I was concerned because it is probably the smallest in the series so far. And I thought, for, you know, two people who haven't met each other, who sort of are forced to get married so that they can both, you know, live in the same country and look after Milo, it seemed like it could have been a little bit of a longer book. I mean, look, we might get a bit more development, but I'm just, you know, at the 3/4 mark, and I just feel like we're just moving quickly. So I think it's a pacing thing for me at the moment. There have been some amazing little liners. We love a "my wife" in A Marriage of Convenience. We had a little Will Smith, like, keep my wife's name out your mouth moment, which I love. But yeah, we shall see where this goes. If there is one thing I'm gonna fall for every single time, it is a mirror scene. It is a mirror scene, okay? I love a mirror scene. She just knows how to do it. She just knows how to do it, okay? I literally was just saying the other day, I think I made a video on it, about like my top 5 favorite female authors who write the best spice. Like, the spice delivers every time. And Elsie is like at the top of that list. Every single one of her books, one of the scenes from the book like ends up on my Roman Empire spicy scene list. I fear I may be going feral. Okay, All right, besties and friends, we have reached the end of the video, but I just finished Wildside, which I'm honestly so surprised that I read in one day. The one thing that I do love about Elsie and Elsie Silver is her books are just so bingeable. This is probably the third book I've read by her now that I've read in a day. I think that makes Heartless, Hopeless, Reckless, and this one. They're just so easy to get through. They're really fun. They're really fast paced. They are spicy. They are really wholesome. So highly recommend if you've not picked up any Elsie Silver before. Anyways, before I do like a little recap of all the books that we read in today's video, I thought I would talk about Wildside. And because I've obviously just finished this today, I'm still gonna like think about my thoughts on the book. I do think that the first like 50 to 60% of this book was super strong. I think I was telling you guys I was just like super invested. It was really fun. I was having a really good time. And then I think towards the back end, I think our couple just got together a little bit too quickly, a little bit too easily. You know, this was set up as a hate to love, you know, marriage of convenience. And I don't know if it's the size of the book or if it's the slump that I feel like I'm out of, but still, I don't know, I'm working back up. I'll talk about my slump in a little bit just to like get it into the details of that. But in terms of this, I still really loved it. Love the male main character, Reese. He's like, as I said, that like Jason Momoa type of, you know, looking character, but he's like super soft and sensitive. And I really love that. There are certain like, Elsie just writes such great spice. Like some of these, I told you guys there was a mirror scene in this. I just had the best time reading that. So yeah, I'm thinking at the moment this is a 4-star for me and it's gonna get a 2.5 chili spice. It's probably my least favorite in the Rose Hill series so far. I would say my favorite is Wild Eyes, then Wild Love, and then this one. That's not to say that this was not still strong. I just think that the couple just got together way too easily and kind of like scot-free for me. I still highly recommend you guys give this a read because it's still a lot of fun and it's still sweet. But I think for a marriage of convenience, hate to love, I was expecting a little bit more of a slow burn, if that makes sense. So that was that one there. Now, going back to the first book that I finished in the video, Saving Six, I did tell you guys that I sort of like had a little bit of a thought and like a ponder on this over the last couple of days. I've spoken to a couple of my friends and I think that I am happy with a 3.5 star for this one here. I think I also give it like a 2 or 2.5 chili spice. I understand the importance of Saving Six. I think we definitely got to see a lot of Joey and Aoife over like the 6 years that they sort of know each other, meet each other, grow that foundation. You build an understanding of who they are from this book here, which then leads into Redeeming Six, which I think was definitely my favorite out of the two. I think I'm going to give this one a 4.25 star. Just thinking about it last night, I was again talking to one of my friends this morning, and I think for those who've read like Boys of Tommen, let me know if you feel the same way, but I sort of finished like Binding and Keeping 13 and I really love it. I love the characters, I love the world, and then I was like starting to read these books and I didn't realize how much Johnny and Shannon actually like left a mark on my heart and my soul, and I just love Johnny and Shannon so much that I feel like how I feel about Joey and Aoife at the moment is maybe I'm gonna start to really let their story sink in and like them as characters really, I don't know, take a spot in my heart, I guess, like after I've moved away from the world or when I start reading Taming 7 or something like that. So Redeeming Six was a lot, and you guys saw me crying last night. As I was sort of touching on, I think that this is gonna be a world that's gonna be really hard to walk away from because I just really do care so deeply about the characters, even though I may not have completely been happy with the story that we got for them. I still think the way the characters are written are so strong and they really do feel so close to home, and they're so very near and dear to my heart. So strange little video there for you guys, but in terms of my like overall reading slump, I feel like in terms of my, I guess, my motivation to actually pick up and read a book, I'm definitely feeling like I'm back on track. Like I really just want to pick up the next book now. I think when you read a book in a day, it really just gives you a bit of a confidence boost. And you're like, oh yeah, like I can do that. If I'm really interested in reading, I can read a book in a day. So I think like my motivation to read is there. However, the reason I'm feeling a bit odd is these are 3 books that I sort of in my head was like, I'm going to love these. These are guarantees, and that's why I wanted to read them for this video. However, I'm still feeling really weird about how I felt about these books, and I think that is coming down to maybe that I am getting a little bit burnt out on romance, so I'm thinking that I need to take a bit of a break. So whether that means I go to a romantasy or I go to a thriller, I'm thinking that I want to pick up a thriller after this. I think that is sort of where I'm leaning towards, because I think, as I said, I'm feeling a bit of burnout. That's where we're at on the reading slump. I feel like we've kicked it to a degree. It's now a matter of like, can I fall back in love with the staples? Because I feel like I'm feeling like a little bit burnt out. Does it make sense? Hopefully that is like a nice way to put it. Alrighty guys, that is all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for sticking through all the way to the end. If you did, I really, really appreciate it. Have you guys read any of those books? I mean, obviously Wildside just came out, but if you guys have read Bows of Toman, I think I sort of asked you a few questions there, I guess, about like how you feel about those books. But if anybody sort of is in a reading slump right now, literally like send your girl some tips. I said that in my last video, but my tips always for a reading slump are either that I go and like read a book that I know that I love, like a reread, or I change genre. But I don't know, this time around was just so strange. I think coming out of February, a lot of people felt the same. So let me know if you're in the same boat. As always, you guys, if you aren't already, you are more than welcome to follow me on TikTok and on Instagram. I'll leave my handles on the screen and in the description box. And if you'd like to, you can like this video and subscribe to my channel, and make sure you are hitting the notification bell, the way you're notified each time a brand new video goes out. Guys, a super exciting video is coming after this. We are redoing the bookshelves, which I know you guys absolutely love. So that video is coming on Sunday, Monday. So just keep an eye out. Make sure you're subscribed, because I know you guys love those videos and I can't wait to do it. I'm itching to do it. Thank you guys so much for stopping by again. I really, really appreciate it. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a lovely day or a lovely night, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.